You gotta trust God when it's good, and you gotta trust God when it's bad. You gotta trust God when you're happy, and you gotta trust God when you're sad. You gotta trust God when you're in the waiting season, and you gotta trust God when you're in your winning season. You gotta trust God that He's gonna make a way, and you gotta trust God that He's gonna bring you out. You gotta trust God that He's gonna provide for you, and you gotta trust God that He's gonna make a way. You gotta trust God for your husband, and you gotta trust God for your wife. You gotta trust God when He take that job from you, and you gotta trust God when He bless you with a job. You gotta trust God in this season. You gotta trust God to bless you with that new car. You gotta trust God when you don't have a car. You gotta trust God when choosing your friends. You gotta trust God when you're going to work. You gotta trust God when you're going to school. You gotta trust God in your situation. You gotta trust that God is gonna turn it around for you. You gotta trust God and believe that God got you in this season. No matter how it looks, no matter how it feels, you gotta trust God. You gotta trust God. You gotta trust God, okay? You gotta trust God. Okay? And you gotta know that you are the head, not the tail. Okay? You are above and not beneath. No weapons formed against you shall prosper. Okay? You gotta know that. You gotta know that weeping may endure for the night, but joy is coming in the morning. Okay? Alright? You can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. God is a way maker. He's a provider. Okay? He will never give up on you, and He will never fail you. You gotta trust Him and His plan. His way, His plan, His will, not your will. Trust God that He is faithful. And He gonna make your path straight, okay?